I think we've all heard the news a few weeks ago that our beloved Penny Marshall passed away, which was very intense for I think a lot of us. She was very important to a lot of us, very important to me as well. I idolized her as a kid, and she was a big reason why I decided to go to school and study theater, because I was so obsessed with her comedic portrayal of Laverne and Shirley as a little girl. And when I went off to college, my dad, as a gift, bestowed me with this 8x10 glossy photograph of Henry Winkler as the Fonz. And I was like, it's close, but it's not the one I like. I like Penny Marshall. You gave me a picture of the guy on the show that Laverne and Shirley's the spin-off of. It's a different situation, but I know he meant well. So I hung it up on my wall when I got to college, and it was like this real conversation started. I have a picture of Henry Winkler as the Fonz. It was like this really glossy, smiley shot, and then people would walk in. It was the only thing I had on my wall, and it was just fun, you know? I would like hook up with a lot of guys underneath it. And I kept it up for 4 years as a theater major, and it was weird for me as a theater major. I loved it, but all of my friends were these actor types, and they had all memorized the entire script to Glengarry and Ross, and they would break out into show tunes in the dining hall, and I was more into like reading the plays than being the star of them. And by graduation time, I was feeling a lot of anxiety about what I should actually be doing with my life, and I was frequently throwing myself on the ground, crying, and debating between two career choices, which were moving to New York and pursuing a career as an actor, or becoming a sociologist who danced for fun on the side. So in the midst of one of these meltdowns I was having right before graduation, my roommate came in. This is year 4 of college, and she says, Margot, they've just announced our graduation speaker. And I was like, oh, because recent graduation speakers have been Maya Angelou and Ben of Ben and Jerry's, so it's like anything's possible, you know? It's a wide range we go for here. And she was like, it's him. I'm like, what do you mean it's him? And she points to the picture. She's like, it's Henry Winkler. He's coming to you. You summoned him. And I was like, oh my God. I had like a really like beta version of a vision board, just one thing. 4 years, and I got it. And I didn't even know I wanted it, you know? And so I was like, well, this is a sign. He's an actor, I should become an actor, I should do this. So I go to the graduation, and I put I taped the 8x10 glossy to the top of my graduation cap, and I go to hear him speak. And let me tell you, I thought it was a weird career pivot for Henry Winkler to be doing the speech, but at the same time, I have to say, no, it was not. He was the best speaker I have ever seen. It was amazing. He was a lot of, you know, the believe in yourself stuff, but there was also, he kept saying this quote, if you will it, it is no dream. If you will it, it is no dream, which for years of my life I attributed to Henry Winkler, and then I recently Googled it, and it was, no, it's Zionist Theodore Herzl that actually said it, and he was quoting him, but I've, you know, whatever, details, right? So, I'm really moved by this speech, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go to New York, and then my dad calls me, he's like, Margot, I got you a graduation gift. I got you tickets. Henry Winkler's on Broadway right now, and you're gonna go see him on Broadway. And I was like, my dad, as a fellow New York Jew, was like, you love this other New York Jew, right? Right? Like, this is what we like in our family. So I'm like, okay. So he goes, here's the weird thing that happened to me. I go in to the box office to buy you the tickets as a gift. And guess who walked in right as I bought them? I go, Henry Winkler, obviously he's following me at this point. My dad's like, Henry Winkler comes in. So you know what I say to him? I say, oh my God, I just saw you talk at my daughter's graduation. She's a theater major. And he said, you tell her to come backstage. When she comes to this place, she's gonna come backstage after. I'm gonna give her a tour, I'm gonna show her the ropes, I'm gonna talk to her about becoming an actor in New York. So he goes, so you better do that. And I was like, wow, another sign. So I go to the play, I feel uncomfortable after. My dad almost physically shoves me to the door, and he's like, you gotta do it. So I go, and I'm expecting them to be like, he was just being polite, he didn't mean it, but they were like, no, he says, come on back. So I go back, Henry Winkler greets me with a smile, he gives me a tour, he talks to me all about graduating, how I feel about the theater. I meet his friend, his other friend that's backstage, Tyne Daly of Cagney and Lacey, which I feel like is like the perfect person for him to be hanging out with, you know? And then I generosity and his kindness. And I was like, my gosh, he's my guy. And then at the end of it, he took a picture with me. And I said, why do you want a picture of me? And he said, for my scrapbook. Which was just the sweetest thing. So now I think, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna pursue this. So I'm in New York, I'm going for it with acting, it doesn't really feel right. You know, at the time, Sex and the City was huge, and everyone's like, are you a Carrie or Samantha or Miranda or the other one? And I'm like, I don't want to be any of them. I want to be Candace Bushnell, the woman who wrote the book it's based on. That's the one I am. And no one cares. And people don't understand what that means to want to write books. But I did. And I keep pursuing it. And then I get married, and I move to LA. And before I go to LA, my dad gives me this magnet for Christmas of Henry Winkler. Has the fonts, like, shaped as his body. It's really pushing it on me, you know, and I'm like, I like him, I'm convinced, he's great, he's the best, I love him. And so I bring it, it's on my fridge in LA, and about a year in or so, I do sell a book, and it's really hard to get done, and I sell it. And before it comes out, I have all of this anxiety of, okay, what if it comes out and it's critically panned and everyone hates the book, or if it offends everybody and everyone's mad at it. You know, all of those feelings when you put a piece of art into the world, and I was very nervous about it. But what I didn't realize was there's a third option of it being a hit or a failure, which is that it comes out and no one notices and no one reads it, which is what happened. No one noticed my first book, and it was like the tree fell in the woods and no one heard it fall. And it was very questioning for me of, am I really gonna do this? Am I gonna be a starving artist for the rest of my life? But I managed to sell a second book, and I felt like things could be different with this. And I was getting in my car one day, and I was thinking about it. It was a couple months before my second book came out, and I thought, this one isn't a hit. That's it. No one's going to give you a chance to write a third book. And you might have to be a sociologist who dances, I don't know, but this may not be working out for you, and you may just be a starving artist forever. So let's hope it works, because this is another shot. And I'm having all these doubts about myself, and I'm about to drive off, and I go to put the key in the ignition, and I look to the right of me, and in the seat of my passenger seat is just the head of the Henry Winkler magnet, broken off. I don't know how it got there. I didn't put it there. I didn't break my magnet. Why would I break a head of a Henry Winkler magnet and shove it on my car seat? But he was there, and he was sitting with me kind of as my co-pilot. I have no idea how. And he was kind of looking at me like, hey, if you will it is no dream. Not my quote, but you know what I mean? And I was like, okay. I guess it's gonna be okay. And I don't want to go into a whole braggadocious ordeal about it, but the second book came out, and it was a huge hit, and it was a life-changing piece of art to put out into the world, and it changed everything for me. And I went from starving artist to professional artist, and I'm not an actor by any means. It's not what I wanted to do with my life, but I'm so thrilled that I get to make a living in the arts, and that's all I've ever really wanted. And it was amazing, and I thought, my God, I got my career on track. This is great. And then I realized that that's not all that matters in life, and that there's bigger hurdles ahead. It's not just getting your career on track, it's life, right? And so I have kids, and that's hard, and then I have a second kid, and right as I have the second baby, my husband has to travel a lot for work, and then I have to travel a lot for work, all with this under 1-year-old child. And we moved to a rental house, and a few months after we move, they're gonna sell the house, and we have to come up with all this money to buy a house in LA, or we're gonna lose our house. And it was lots of time apart, new baby, lack of sleep, financial stress, everything coming to a head, and I'd be lying to say that it wasn't really trying on us. And right at the end of all of this, as we're struggling to buy this house, my husband's father gets very ill and sadly passes away. And I was like, oh God, this is horrific and horrible and sad, and I don't know how we're gonna get out the other side, and I don't know if life's gonna be okay. And the morning after the wake, I'm in the hotel room with my husband, and he goes to me, you know, it was weird. Last night at the wake, I met a guy there, and his name was Michael Douglas. You know, like the actor, but not the actor. Just like same name as a famous person, but not that famous person. I go, yeah, that's weird. And he was like, yeah. Kind of like that weird big conversation about anything else that's going on besides the death, right? And we go to the funeral, and it's terribly sad. And we go to bury him in the mausoleum, and it's also terribly sad. And I'm standing behind my husband and his mother and his sisters. And my eyes are wandering, and I'm just thinking, like, adding grief on top of all of this stress and a death and everything that comes in the aftermath of the death is going to be even harder. And are we going to get through this? And is life going to ever be okay and stable and feel happy again? And I'm standing there and I'm taking it all in, and my eyes kind of wander around. And I'm in the mausoleum and I look at the stone right next to where his father's going to be put to rest. And on it, it says, loving father, husband and son, 1935 to 2016, Henry Winkler. Now we all know he's alive. He just won an Emmy. This was another Henry Winkler. Same name as a celebrity, right? But not the celebrity. And of all celebrities, it was Henry Winkler, buried directly next to where my father-in-law is going to be buried. Now a normal person, any of you, a nice person, would look at this, take it in, chuckle to themselves, and go on with their day, and respect the fact that their husband has just lost their father. Not me, no. I'm looking at this, I can't believe this has just happened. I mean, it keeps happening, it just keeps appearing. So I, as my husband is standing there, tears in his eyes, aggressively tap him. And I go, Dan! Dan! Look at that stone! Henry Winkler! It's another Henry Winkler, like what we were just saying, but not him! But same name! Right? What are the chances? And he looks at me and he doesn't say anything because it's inappropriate at this point to be talking at all. But with his eyes, he looks at me and I know exactly what he's saying. And what he's saying is, I am burying my fucking father, Margot. Give it a rest. Pause and I take it in. I kind of inappropriately smile. Because there he is again, at another questionable moment in my life. And I think, you know what? If that's not a sign, guys, I don't know what is. Thank you.